Howdy folks, welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from George G.W. Bridge Woodruff. George, thank you for this gift, my friend. I have a lot of fun with you guys' screen names. As Fun Ronnie can attest, as can Renegade for Dwight. But this is George Jones's The Selfishness in Man. So George, wow. What a title for a song. I don't know this song, but this is probably right in my wheelhouse as a philosopher, as a life coach, situation coach, and so on. But GW said that this was released in 1965. And George also asked me if I was caught in the GW Bridgegate scandal with Chris Christie and during Chris Christie's reign as governor. And no, I was not, but I would have been pissed. And because they backed them up for so long, just unbelievable. I mean, I've been in major traffic on the GW, but that's what we refer to it as here. There's the Holland from New Jersey. The access to New York City is either via the Holland Tunnel, which is what I take 95% of the time, the Lincoln, which I never do any longer, and then the GW and GW Bridge. But no, I've been in hellacious traffic on the GW, mostly when it's backed up, but nothing like what they did into Fort Lee and all that. So hopefully that answers your question. But that was part of the selfishness of people trying to get back at other people and using regular citizens as their pawns. So let's see what George Jones has to say. Here we go.
I saw a beam of sunlight still across a purple sky and bend down to kiss a rosebud. Oh, it made me wanna cry to think that I had been permitted to see a part of nature's plan. Oh, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man. Little children painting pictures of the birds and apple trees. Oh, why can't the grown-up people have the faith of one of these? And to think those tiny fingers might become a killer's hand.
Aye.
Oh, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man. Oh, why can't we see the folly and the uselessness of hate? Love could lead to understanding. Maybe it's not too late, and perhaps through His great wisdom we might learn and understand. Then there'd be no shame or sorrow and no selfishness in man.
It's fun. I was thinking about this morning because I work part-time in a wine store near my home, right? I wanted to get out of the house because my girlfriend works in a hospital and works many hours. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to just go out and be with people. And so I said, you know what? I'll just stop in a place where I buy my wine. I happened to be there one day in flip-flops, tank top, nothing dressed up. And I'm at the counter paying for my wine. And I said, you guys looking for part-time help? And so the next day I got a call. He's like, basically, I could work all the hours I want. So I don't want to work as many as I am because it's not that I came out of retirement to do it, but I kind of did. And so I have this repartee with people that come into the place. I've been there 4 months. They get to know me, and there's a lot of regulars and irregulars. And, I just hear in the repartee sort of like the negative speak on occasion about life. Hey, because I always greet them like, hey, how are you? I get the standard, I can't complain, all the nobody would care anyway, that type of stuff. And I think, well, first off, buying wine is a luxury item. Even if it's inexpensive wine, it's a luxury item. We don't need it, and you have the means to buy it. And we also live in America, which places us above so many people to begin with. So the notion of complaining, this is the way I think in my free time, by the way. The notion of complaining just is ill founded. Like, you'd be so much happier if you looked at what you have. And yes, life is hard. Life generally is hard because we know we're going to die one day. Physically, our bodies hurt depending on what your occupation is. But you have the opportunity to change things, to make a living, to eat, to be educated. We have so many opportunities here. Focus on those things, and you'll find that you really won't be inclined to complain. We all have our things that bug us. I really don't like mean-spiritedness. So when I see it, it does anger me. But to me, that's a rightful anger when I see people being mean, because it's unnecessary, it's uncalled for. And I don't mean just mean toward me. I mean mean toward anybody. It really bothers me, like to where a switch flips in me. But otherwise, I'm just generally happy-go-lucky, and because I'm thankful for all that I've got. And that's where that song title got me, GW. It got me good, the selfishness in man. Being protective of yourself is not selfish, but like he said, he watched the sunset and he's just thankful to be able to partake in beautiful things like that. But then you behold the baby's little fingers and realize those could become the killing fingers, the trigger on a gun to kill somebody later in life. And yeah, I mean, even if it's what we would call justified killing, like you're sent off to war. But still, the bigger picture is, why are we sending people off to war? What is it about us? What do we need that makes us nation against nation kill one another? These are philosophical questions. The theologian ponders these questions as well. Psychologists, sociologists, people, of course, just look at these things, and it is a sad development. I don't participate in it. I'm libertarian. I think for myself by and large, but I ask the same questions asked in this song. I do. And do I think that we would ever eradicate it? No. I think once antisocial behavior, call it sin, call it whatever you want, but once antisocial behavior started, it wasn't going to stop. The song was a simple one, very simple, but it asks deep philosophical questions, or it poses scenarios. So GW, yeah, I mean, perfect time for you to bring up the GW gate, the George Washington Bridge Gate scandal, because that was very selfish, and it cost a lot of people a lot of time and other things. Maybe some people got fired because they were late for work that day because they got backed up for like 5 hours on the bridge. All right, I'm going to rate this song. Very simple song. And the number that popped into my head was an 8.0. Simply, and George looked out of sorts on this one a little bit. but I don't know what was going on there, and maybe I'm just reading into it. Not every performer is thrilled with performing 38 days in a row or whatever they might have to. So you never know when you catch a performer on like an off day where they're exhausted or maybe they were partying the night before. But I love the philosophy behind this because it opens up a plethora of questions and issues. So GW, I wonder what your thoughts are on the content of the song itself. So, because you've been around a while and you're a thinker in your own right. So, there you go. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.
Oh, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man.